Here we have a definite integral. Definite because we have these limits, and we have two trigonometric functions, cosine and tan squared. Cosine, we know how to integrate that, that's just sine. Tan squared, we don't know how to integrate that. So we need to use some kind of trigonometric identity to rewrite tan squared in terms of things that we do know how to integrate. Now, remember the identity sine squared x plus cosine squared x equals 1. Now, if you were to divide all terms in that expression by cosine squared x, that would give you tan squared x plus 1 equals secant squared x, because cosine squared over cosine squared is 1, sine over cosine is tan, and 1 over cosine is secant. So we can rewrite that to make tan squared secant squared minus 1. And we can use that instead of tan squared. And the reason is we know how to integrate 1 and we know how to integrate secant squared. So our integral now becomes the integral from pi over 4 to pi over 3 secant squared x minus 1 plus cosine x dx, and I'll lose the brackets there. So this is my tan, and remember that the derivative of tan x is secant squared x. Well, the integral of secant squared x is going to be tan x. So this information is given to you in your formula sheet at the front of the paper. So the answer is just tan x. And then minus 1, that just integrates to minus x, and cosine x integrates to plus sine x. And then you just put the limits, pi over 4 to pi over 3. And then you substitute your limits. You substitute the upper limit first. So it's tan pi over 3 minus pi over 3 plus sine pi over 3 minus, big brackets, tan pi over 4 minus pi over 4 plus sine pi over 4. Now we know what these numbers are. That's 1, that's root 2 over 2, that's root 3 over 2, etc. But I'll put all of this in a calculator, and that'll give me my final answer. Make sure your calculator is set in radians. This is really important. Whenever you have an integration, the calculator needs to be set in radians. So I put that in my calculator, and it didn't give me an exact value. So that isn't helpful. I guess we're going to have to do it the long way, because the question did ask for an exact value. So tan pi over 3 is root 3. Sine pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. Tan pi over 4 is 1. And sine pi over 4 is root 2 over 2. So if we remove these brackets, that minus sign will affect both of these signs. I can now remove the brackets. Because they want an exact value, you're going to have to only combine terms that you know you can deal with. So root 3 minus root 3 over 2, that's root 3 over 2. You've got pi over 3 and pi over 4. That'll give you minus 1 over 12. And then you've got these two that you can combine. And I guess we can remove the root 3 and add that there as well. So your final exact answer would probably look something like that. So that's your final answer.